Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Virgo Channel. I hope everyone's having a great day. I mean, wherever you are, it may be Sunday. It's Sunday where I am. It may be Monday where you are, or it could be Saturday, Wherever you are, I hope you're having a great day. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, my name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play those karmic themes to help you understand why your person's acting the way that they are. Very important when you're dealing with a person that wears masks, creates personas, creates illusions. The person feels like home, but everything that person does not resonate with the energy of home. The energy of home makes us feel as if we're comfortable, but we want to know why. Then does the universe bring us someone that triggers us, someone that feels like home, that could be home, but triggers us? What is the whole point of the connection? And the reason why is because sometimes we've grown out of a connection and we still feel that that person's connected to us. So not until you learn the spiritual lesson can you actually cut the karmic cord. You could actually shape shift the energy. There's many different realities that play out at one time. So the least beneficial thing is that you could avoid negative karmic consequences from dealing with a past life karmic mate. Past life karmic mates we identify with problems. That's what we identify, problems. And the reason why is because they trigger us. They don't have the best intention. They project a lot of their bullshit. So again, we want to know why. Once we understand why, we can integrate the spiritual lesson and transmute the negative energy. And that allows us to see ourselves differently. That allows us to actually change the emotional imprint. See, you were attracting that person into your life because there was a traumatic experience that you went through that created an emotional imprint that was left on the subconscious mind. You're not even aware. But then you attract people and situations. So when you heal, like I said, you can actually change the entire template, which is amazing. Hey, Diane. All right, so let's see what the underlining energy is. Don't mind me, my hair looks crazy. It's raining out. It's raining outside. It's windy outside. It's a little bit like hurricane-y weather. And my husband loved these plastic and metal things he used to put on all over the yard. So when it blows around, I got Jesus that flies by. I have Woody from Disney and all these animals and just fly by. So it's important to move them. It's it's not my style at all, but now that he's not here, it's like I can't get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's like I feel bad getting rid of it, but it's not my style. So it's like I'm conflicted. Okay, the word of the video is merciless forgiveness. Merciless forgiveness. This is a hard one. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. Forgiveness is hard to begin with, but when it's like we're asking to be merciless, it's almost like the person definitely doesn't deserve to be forgiven. Now, why would we have to learn that spiritual lesson? Well, if you were born into family karma, where your parents or someone in your immediate family didn't act like a mother, didn't act like a father, didn't give you the support, didn't represent, again, what a mother or father. So now things in your life are affected, or you perceive things in your life are not working because of, again, being born into that family. And then the same karmic theme continues to play out as a karmic loop. It's like you get out of one situation and you get into the same, and it has the same karmic experience of maybe a person not showing up for you emotionally, someone undervaluing you, whatever the spiritual lesson is. But what it is it's like you can't let go of it, because, and I know this because this is the card that popped out, which is resentment, which is like, no, people just do fucked up things to me. Like it's like, why should I forgive, or what does that even look like, or how can I even forgive? So is really understand that here it is, there's a past life karmic mate, that's the hardest connection, because the person feels like a twin flame. They feel like love, they feel like home, but there's a lot of lessons there. Karmic lessons, ancestral karmic lessons that need to be broken, which means that if you feel like it's part of you, where it's spirit's saying until you go through the experience and see a different outcome, you're not going to break that karmic cycle, because you got to embody the new consciousness. When merciless forgiveness, it's like, how can we forgive? Because we can say, oh, I forgave, and spirit's like, no, you got to learn the lesson again. Like, and you can't say you just forgive, because it's the other person's karma that you don't forgive, because no one really wants to be connected to someone that's angry or hates them, or again, no one wants that. In spite, you'd say, no, they don't care. No, they really do care. People don't want that. So we have to, I have 2 decks of cards here, and just separate them. Forgiveness is the hardest lesson, but it also means that you're like healing your own spiritual wounds, because it's definitely a spiritual lesson. Like, where I feel like you just connected to someone that needed a lot of attention. They were very needy, and they put on persona to get like a lot of attention. But that persona wasn't really who they were. You know, they have a fear of not really liking who they are. And they're also angry. Now, not uncommon, especially if this is a past life karmic mate. It means that you were born into a family that taught you lessons. Well, guess what? They were also born into a family that taught them the same exact lesson. That doesn't mean that you handled it the same way. The karmic mate is someone that understands the other quite well. It's like, because they have gone through that experience. Doesn't mean their perception of how to deal with it, like I said, is going to be the same. Withdraw. So again, this person withdraws. There's someone that probably emotionally doesn't give you enough to begin with, and then of course they go through any little thing, and instead of being able to communicate, they withdraw, which obviously triggers you emotionally. But that's where this person's power lies. It's, again, you want to know how they can emotionally manipulate you through that, through being able to, like I said, take away their energy. Where here it is, you would be like, I'm going through something, and it's like, this person doesn't show up for me. They say that they care about me. They say that they do, but it's like they're not really present for me, is what you know. And it's because that's an intimacy issue. And you kind of have to make a person that's spiritually blocked like that run after you. And it doesn't mean they don't have feelings. They do. But the moment that you get comfortable and say, okay, let's be in a relationship, it's like this person waits for the shoe to drop and they create sabotaging behavior. So you have to say, why would spirit, the universe, bring you a person like that? Especially if you grew up in an environment that didn't give you emotionally. And spirit says, because you have to integrate the spiritual lesson, it's going to help you. And that's through going through that situation, handling it differently, seeing a different outcome because you handled it differently. It's like the block is, no, you're supposed to. And spirit says, no, you're supposed to. It's again because otherwise this person like just is a troublemaker. They're just going to create trouble in your life. There's someone that again, I feel like they tend to get too much involved in your life. And again, that's just by emotionally manipulating you, watching you, but then that's going to create trouble in your life because they don't give you that relaxing type of relationship where you could be at ease, where you feel supported. They're connected, but the type of connection that they have, it's like you feel like they create drama. And so understand, we see it again, Spirit saying, well, you need to master your emotions. Because again, you're supposed to channel your emotions into purpose. You're a highly sensitive person. This person represents passion. Again, where's the passion? You're giving too much time to this person. They want attention. No matter, you're going to give them all the attention in the world and it's not going to fill them. What's going to fill them is again passion for life, love, God, but God through purpose, through again the co-creating with the universe. And that's through again investing time in things that they love. They don't know who they are. So they get caught up in the relationship and wanting to control and really not in a controlling like, oh well, I want you to be in my relationship and we feel you're going to feel safe and supported and loved. No, I'm going to control you by again creating a lot of drama in your life. And you have to say, why would God bring this person, the universe, whatever you want to call it, bring this person into your life if they're a past life karmic mate? And Spirit says, well, again, no one can create problems in your life. You can allow people to create problems in your life. Because if you have feelings for this person, but they also create problems, how do you deal with them? And Spirit says, again, through being more in your life, it being more in your passion for life, it's about channeling that energy that you know that they're going to piss you off. You have to channel that into purpose. That's the fire element. This person is a past life karmic mate. They have the opportunity at any time to step it up to the twin flame. It's again, do they want to do that all the time? No, usually they don't. I'm not going to lie. However, Spirit says it doesn't matter if they want to do it or not. The universe says, I always get my due. So I'm always going to bring people, situations, and experiences to you that change your mind and your heart. And I may be using you to help change that person's mind and heart. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be with them or make it easy, but there's a reason why. And it's again, and you say, well, then what's the whole point for me? And Spirit says, well, then we look at your blocks, but let's see again what else this person did. Again, over the top behavior, creating drama for control. And that's again more emotional stuff, troublemaker. Again, so here it is. I just feel like someone that came into your life that created a lot of drama and possibly took you off your path. Or again, there's a fear of being taken off your path. So again, I'm going to look and just see what they're going to do, and then we're going to see why you attracted this person into your life and what you're supposed to do to transmute the negative energy. You have to understand, integrating the spiritual lesson is not enough. Seeing a different perception of yourself is not enough. You're in physical form to learn and to manifest. So Spirit's saying, I want to see you embody the new consciousness. You have to see yourself differently. Again, how do you manifest? Through the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you have. Unless you embody the new consciousness, you can't create it. You can't break the karmic looping. It's like, which is keeping you in a place of feeling stuck when really it's just this person being full of drama. But you probably can't even think because, again, the over-the-top behavior of wanting to control without giving you anything. We see a lot of bullshit here. That's really what it is. But the person's seeing that none of it's working. So again, they're working up the courage to contact you because hey, well, that's what'll happen if there's a real connection, and the past life karmic mate has the opportunity to step it up. It means that spirit saying you better surrender that fucking ego. It was like because that person's leaving. They're leaving because you're not fooling them, with your nonsense. So understand they feel foolish. They feel foolish. Again, for creating a lot of unnecessary trouble. Again, which is ridiculous. Hey, oh yeah, the weather is horrible here. It's like if we lose contact, hopefully we won't, but it's because there's a storm outside. That's why I was a little late. I was trying to staple down all the metal figures that my husband had bought. He bought all this shit, those, things that people put on their yard. I hate that look, by the way. But every day it was like he was sneaking home something like a giraffe or like I have a mini Bigfoot on the side of the house, like a metal one. It's like so tacky looking. I tell him, don't put anything in the front yard. I come home, I have cactuses in the front yard that are metal and plastic. But then every time there's a storm, it's like I gotta go out there and now that he's gone, I don't have the heart to throw any of the shit away. And I don't like any of it. So I'm really conflicted. So anyway, I'm afraid of losing you. So what we see is because you're holding your ground. You're like, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to put up with it. And that's how a person really surrenders their ego. You put them in a situation, but it doesn't mean that person didn't try and do everything in their power to make you. So Spirit saying, remember, I bring people into your life to make you strong, to make you, again, this person's manipulative. It's like, so being around manipulative people, maybe you were raised by a manipulative person and you can't forgive that parent. So Spirit saying, I got to bring it to you in a different way. It's like, I'm going to bring it to you in this way. You really like this person. Yeah, I like them, but they're fucked up. They act exactly like my parents. Spirit says, you're going to learn how to deal with it differently, handle it differently. And that's not the easiest thing to do. I wish you knew how grateful I am to have met you. Yeah, because it's like most people, this person can shit all over. It's like they come into the life, they create a lot of drama, troublemaker. Because again, I make you nervous. I make you nervous. Oh, good. See how much you like me. See, the ego. The person acts really childish, and they did that with you, and you went, cut that shit right out. And now they're like, I gotta that didn't work, and you were like, no, that didn't work. Like that person feels like a fool. It's like because you were like, I'm not going to sit here and let you tolerate this. And so they played a lot of games. It's like none of their shit works. They have no option but to come back and surrender or they lose you forever. It's again, their back is up against the wall. Do they want to do it? No. God says, I know that they don't want to do it, but I'm going to make them surrender their ego because they know what's good for them. It's like, but they're, right now that you're dealing with someone that's fighting themselves, and that's what the ego looks like, but at the end of the day, Spirit says, your job is to bring that person to me, which is unconditional love, because that's all I am. But that only happens when they surrender their ego, and they don't want to do that. You see? So don't take it personally. And you're saying, I'm not taking it personally. I had enough of their shit. It's like because really there's nothing on the plate here. It's like they're not giving anything. It's just a lot of drama. It's just a lot of nonsense at this point. I'm sending you loving energy. Can you feel it? Like this person is trying to, I feel like, manifest you back. They're afraid to kind of contact you. So they're like, maybe you can still have feelings. Remember, the person's on a lower consciousness. That means immature. It's like you're seeing them for like, again, a side of them that no one really ever gets to see, because people don't usually deal with them the way that you just dealt with them. But all you know is you just got tired of dealing with people that, came into your life and create drama and create problems for no reason. Meanwhile, you're on the path doing your thing, you know, and when you are in alignment, well, guess what? The universe protects you as long as you're true to yourself, and you were. I can't stand the thought of you with someone else. Well, obviously, that's also how the universe gets this person to move their ass, because, they don't really want to come back and surrender their ego. But now they begin to get paranoid. They see you're not tolerating it. Their own insecurity seeps in. And they know that, hey, if I think you're a good catch, and you didn't fall for my nonsense, you're not going to stay stuck. You're going to meet somebody else. I have to come in correct. Like I said, they have no choice. Thing is, now you see this person for who they really are. and what you're seeing is it's not really as appealing. You're inspiring me in so many ways. Yeah, because it's like you're strong. What you showed this person is, I don't need you. If you're gonna be in my life, it's because I want you. But you're not gonna come into my life and fuck my life. You're not gonna create drama within my life because you want control, or you don't really know what you want, but you want me to be connected to you for whatever reason. You're caught up in your drama. What you're saying is, my mind is not on this. It's on creating myself, becoming myself. And you detached, and this person of course is inspired by you, because don't you think that the universe is then saying, now I'm going to make something good happen in your life? Because this person act like a dumbass, thinks that they're down there to like create a whole lot of bullshit, like they're there to be the expression of love. It's like, but they're so fragmented due to whatever spirit saying, whatever their experiences that they went through. So they're living a reality that doesn't really make sense to anyone except for themselves. So the universe, like I said, is always bringing situations and experiences in, and being that how you handled it, like, I'm not tolerating your shit. It's like this person, like it says, is seeing you much different. And like I said, I don't think people normally deal with them like that. So for a long time, it's like they pretended like everything was fine, but they're not happy. It's like they need to unpack their emotions. Like I said, for a long time, they pretended. And so when it's real over time, it's like you can't really fake the funk, where I feel like this person is having a hard time moving forward. They didn't think they'd have a hard time moving forward. And the reason why is because they don't form like intimate connections. And why would they if they, again, play so many games, right? They don't understand that by the way that you acted and held their ground and how you're living your life, you kind of became this person's muse. They weren't meaning for that, but they expected you to continuously act a certain way, which never happened. And then how you acted was like kind of like a slap across their face, that they were always shocked, but then watching you at the same time. And here it is, you're creating stuff. So you're entertaining, and what they see is you don't care whether I'm in your life at all. So again, this person has commitment issues. They create a lot of drama to be connected without actually giving. So again, they're that way because they have commitment issues, and the commitment issues is because people normally come into their life and try to make them, what they want them to be. After coming in and playing all their games, people assume, oh, you're just afraid, oh, you're just this, oh, you're just that. And here it was, you were like, I don't care what the fuck it is, but I'm not going to tolerate it. It's like, I don't care if you're going to be in my life or not. I have a life. That's profound to this person, because they really thought who they are, they really thought you were going to act a certain way. And then on top of it, you're having a good life. The universe is saying, yeah, I'm going to make sure that you have a good life, because it's this person that needs to see a different perception from how they're living. They're a past life karmic mate because their perception of what they could have, what life was, what a relationship was narrow. And the thing is, not unless you dealt with them the way that you dealt with them, which was kind of like, I had enough of your bullshit, like slap, that this person had to be treated like that, needed to be talked to like that, needed to be, again. So yeah, they were offended at first, but it was truth. It wasn't everybody else that comes in and pretends to be one way, but they're sneaky and they try to get, this person to have a relationship. You didn't do that. You're like, I don't care what your shit is, in or out. It's like in or out. But whatever you do, don't block the fucking door. It's like in or out. You'll be replaced. Where this person's like, wait a minute, and you're like, I'm not putting up with it. My peace. I'm not. And I feel like you had to go through this again because you had a parent that was like, might have been a narcissist, might have dated someone that was a narcissist before this person. And so a sense of not feeling strong within yourself. Out of sync, again, to feel when you are out of balance. And once you're out of balance, to listen to your intuition. Having trouble listening to your intuition sometimes. And that would happen as if you were brought up by a parent that, again, you weren't allowed to listen to yourself because there was consequences. And now you get into a relationship, and now this person also identifies love. The parent identifies as love. You identify this person with love. It's unconscious. It's not that you're seeing them the same, but wanting that. It triggers us to go back into the same habits and behaviorisms. But what we know is the same ways that we learn to survive, where it's going to stunt us. It's again later on in life. When you're a child, you're limited in your options because you have to depend on the people in your environment. A lot of times, the people that are abusing you that are in your environment, or the people that are not making you safe or feeling, emotionally stable, whatever it is. But it's that you're going back and entering into the same exact emotion. Did you learn the spiritual lesson? Did you? And that's first and foremost by listening to yourself, like you said. And I feel like you were like, no, I felt like we were completely out of sync, like on two totally different wavelengths. And so Spirit saying, well, yeah, this person was hoping that you didn't know your worth. It doesn't mean that they don't like you, but you're like, well, what the hell good is it if that's what it looks like? And Spirit says, well, we have to always see why you attracted this person into your life, because you need healing too. You didn't just manifest this person to manifest, even if it was just to transmute the negative energy. And that means go through the situation one more time to see yourself differently. You'd be like, well, why would I need to do that? And Spirit would say, well, do you think if you're afraid of narcissists that you're going to be the CEO of your corporation, or that you'd be able to get that part in Hollywood? Or do you think you'd be able to deal with those people? Spirit says everything that you get prepares you so that you can again deal with. Because you're like, oh, I dealt with this fucking energy before. I know these people. It's like, again, you're only going to meet a bunch of people, like a handful of people. Everyone pretty much acts the same. We meet the same people over and over and over in our life. But because we have an ego, we always want to know, what does this person feel about me? Even though they're screwed up, even though they may be like, again, a narcissist, a horrible person. Inquiring minds want to know, what does this person really truly feel in their head? What is their reality? I hope that you can forgive me one day, So this person knows, again, because we had pulled merciless forgiveness. Like, so this person is like soulmate and knows, I mean, maybe I can't like move forward. You like, I feel like they can't move forward because, you know, you're angry. I left you before you could leave me. I feel like this person did because if you really saw who they were, you wouldn't have liked them. And also because you held to a certain standard. It's like they played a lot of games. You didn't fall for any of those games. So they only knew it was going to be a matter of time that you would dump them. So they chose to say past life karmic mate. I left you when I saw you with someone. Now that's for that, it could be anybody. Doesn't necessarily mean someone that you were dating. It could be, have friends or again a life outside this person. Because I don't feel like this person is strong at all in who they are. A person that creates this much drama and getting into a relationship doesn't have any relationships because no one would want to be in this type of relationship. They might be connected to like a karmic, someone that they have sex with once in a while, someone that's delusional, someone that doesn't know their worth, but this person isn't giving anything. So understand, you having people in your life means they can't really control you, that they can't really give. You're strong within yourself. You're going to demand a certain level of being. And that's what this said the whole time. What we see is this person continued to try and make you surrender your boundaries. Again, tried to make you. So you're like, why do they keep coming into my life and giving me nothing? Or why do they keep coming in my life and creating like just drama, like unnecessary? And drama could be, they just stir up like feelings and emotions within inside of me. Why? What is the point? Well, it's again it's this person's on a low vibration. They're immature. They wanted to get what they wanted from you without actually having to give. It's like, and that could be because they don't know how to give. But what they did know is that they wanted you. So again, passion. And we see that. Now, obviously, that's the whole problem with the past life karmic mate. You recognize this person, the person feels like home, and there is passion. But over time, if the person doesn't step it up, what happens is the relationship becomes like corroded, becomes, you know, it becomes like negative. It becomes very negative. That's why they say a fine line between love and hate, because again, the person wants you, there's passion, but they're going to go about it in every which way that's wrong. And it's going to trigger you. But see, that's where they were fooled, because it didn't fool you at all. You were like, no, this is your bullshit. Thank you. Take it back. And they're like, here I am holding the shit bag. I wasn't expecting to hold the shit bag. Now what am I going to do with this? And you're like, pretty much unload it. Like that's yours. It's not mine. And your life shows them that. And that is again showing this person a different way of living. It doesn't mean that they are liking what you did, but they respect you. And I understand they respect you. You scare them, but they have love for you because the trust, the intimacy. This person had major trust issues, but when you show, hey, this is like who the hell I am. I don't care who the hell you are. You're not going to treat me this way. I know my worth. Get the hell out of my life. This is what it is. This person had no choice. I wish I could share my good news with you. I feel like they're making changes in their life. You may say like why? Well, it's this person sees that they still have a connection. Then you can still have a connection to somebody. And guess what? You could be really pissed off with the person and they feel that you're pissed off, but they still feel the love. Where again, this person is fragmented. So we know probably has abandonment issues. And so being taught that you could be pissed off and hold boundaries and still love somebody, you're teaching this person how it is to respect, what it is to respect. People that usually act like this were either bullied or played mind games. They didn't just all of a sudden become this way. I want to be more than friends. So again, these are the hidden truths. So again, they still hold on and say, but again, they know you're not going to take them back the way that they presented themselves. And that is, at this point, Spirit says, that's all that I give a shit. I don't really care whether you get back together with this person or not, the universe says. I needed them to step it up a notch, and they weren't doing it. It looked horrible, like the way that they were going about it. So I brought you into the picture to make them change, because I don't like the energy, the universe says. But you got free will, you choose. So we're going to pull from two different decks. This deck we pull at the end, this deck and this deck, because we want to go just a little bit deeper and say, well, okay, so any more spiritual advice, like why we're going through this and what are they going to do? Are they going to do anything? It's like, I long to sweep you off your feet and shower you with my love. So again, the passion, that's normal. It's just that the passion needs to be elevated to unconditional love. And that's what Spirit has issue. Otherwise, that's this counterfeit love that doesn't last. See, by you holding your ground and not putting up with this person's shit, it's like, it's making this person like open up their heart. You're making this person. It's again, so that passion is, Spirit says, of course, like they're not, that's the catalyst. They're not going to move unless there was passion. It's again, that's what transmutes the negative energy. Fire through passion, fire through movement, through creating, through transmutation. It's again, whether you think that this is a big transmutation or not, Spirit says, I'm changing them. It's again, I'm making this situation happen. You don't even know what you're doing that's helping them change. But they're changing. You might be like, oh, I don't really believe that I can do anything, Spirit says. And that's where your spiritual shit comes in. Because you're like, I really don't think. And again, you're going to pull up things of abandonment and other things that need to be cleared with inside of you. This is not a one size fits all, meaning like one person heals through this way. But you have different wounds also. You don't just have the same wounds. There are subconscious fears affecting our ability to attract love and abundance. The universe is helping us make them conscious. See, this is what I'm talking about. Is making them conscious so that you can easily attract what you want, including each other. But I mean, this is not something that you volunteered to do. This is something that the universe says, these people like both want to be loved, but don't think that they can be loved. These both people have gone through experiences and they have strengths and weaknesses, and they can complement each other. And so the universe brings to each other, but it doesn't mean that the triggers don't come out first. They're going to, because the whole point is to be a clear conduit for Spirit to work through. Spirit is prana, is again when that's breath. Again, and that gives us a lot of energy. So the spiritual blocks that are held in the mind are also held in the body, because your body's your mind's faithful servant. So this person is actually helping you heal first, second, and third chakra, really all the chakras. To integrate spiritual lessons. That how would you learn how to compassion or forgiveness? Forgiveness is the hardest one, and you got that twice, which means this person has that also twice. So no one volunteers for that one, because that's a shitty one. That's like the worst one. It means I have to forgive someone that doesn't deserve forgiveness at all. They're not even sorry about what they did. It's like, and my life is affected because of it. And Spirit says, you think your life is affected because of it. It's like, no, my life is affected because of this, and this, and you have reason. And Spirit says that's because you live from that perception. It was like, but there's many different perceptions. You got to see the situation differently. You wouldn't volunteer. Why am I going to volunteer to go back into that? Would that hurt me? Forgiveness. And Spirit says, yeah, so I have to trick you. So I'm going to bring this person again, and you're going to learn how to look at them from a different perception. And you're going to be able to do it because, hey, with your mother and father, you're going to be like, fuck that. But with this person, you're like, fuck that, but they're good looking. I have a passion for them. I can't help it. It doesn't make sense. And the Spirit says, well, it makes sense because it's a divine connection. It's like, but one that's not easy, granted. That's why there has to be a lot of passion. It's like I have to camouflage that, all that fucked upness, with the passion. Hopefully that you'll just focus on the passion. The whole point is you can't just focus on the passion. Otherwise, that your life will go down the shitter because, again, this person doesn't know what to do. But the whole point, Spirit's saying, is that the mission is to be unconditional love. To clear the programming is a necessary part of opening up your hearts. You both grew up in environments that taught you not to trust. So you both have closed heart chakras. This person, though, is very controlling, has an overactive root chakra. So you might believe, they have a lot of passion. They're always focused on the physical body. They know how to make a lot of money. They know how to, but here it is. Your root chakra may not be as open enough, like Spirit saying, well, your feet are never on the ground. You're always up in your head. You're always imagining. You always care about other people's feelings. You're always in the creative realm. So it's, again, Spirit saying, the traumas you went through are the same. The way you learned how to survive was different. But it means that now this person has an overabundance of masculine energy or feminine energy and vice versa. So Spirit says, I'm both. God says, I'm both. I'm the universe. I'm male and I am female. And you're supposed to have both of those energies inside of you. It can't be so out of balance like that. You're going to see it within the behaviorisms. But I learned how to survive that way. You're both alike. I learned how to survive that way. And Spirit says, yeah, so people don't just automatically change. I have to, again, bring you the situation to clear the subconscious. You're not even aware of what they are. But we see it here. It's all about the spiritual blocks. It's all about the ancestral karma. That's what it is. Where you're like, no, this is really me. And this person can say, no, I'm really a failure when it comes to, and Spirit says, you're not a failure. And the person's like, no, it just doesn't work. Love just doesn't work because I have proof. Look at all my relationships. And Spirit says, hey, you do the same thing all the time. So I'm going to bring someone to you that you wouldn't even like. You wouldn't even like this person. It's like, and the way that you're going to deal with them, nothing that you're going to do is going to work. Absolutely nothing. And it's going to piss you off. You're going to want to punch that person, but you're going to love them at the same time. And you're like, why the hell would you do something like that? And Spirit says, for the Promethean fire, again, the passion to awaken, to change. It's, again, because you're both wrong. And it's, again, no one volunteers. And if you don't change, you're both going to be really uncomfortable. And you don't want to be uncomfortable. I feel the sexual energy between us, yet it's beyond physical attraction. It needs to be elevated to the expression of deep, unconditional love. See, I'm telling you this before we're pulling the cards. So, again, you can trust this. This message is that Spirit's saying, it's like, yeah, this is your person, but they're not going to give in to you. And you'd be like, well, why does it have to look like this? And Spirit says, you can't control it. Surrender. And surrender does not mean give in. It means surrender by leaving it and focusing more on yourself. to learn that unconditional love, you can't get rid of it. Like, yeah, this person's going to get mad. They're going to get triggered. They're going to get mad, but they're going to come back. And again, you're going to get mad. You're going to get triggered. You're going to come back. And in the silent parts of a separate away, is reflection. Now, there's also comparison. Sometimes, again, you'll notice the person dates somebody. You might date somebody because it's like, well, I'm trying to replace you, or I'm trying to, you know, to figure it out because people don't know. But what you'll see is it's like you can replace them, but they as the energy, put something, a new person in the energy, but they'll never be replaced. And that's the whole thing, is that it's unconditional. It's like you're learning unconditional, which is love for people that don't deserve to be loved. Spirit saying it requires merciless forgiveness. And it's like, but I don't want to do it. And Spirit says, that's the problem. You don't want to do it. And you're like, no, I don't, because I have a list of reasons of why I don't want to do it. But Spirit says, but then you're still connected to this person. And you're like, I know. And you don't like to be connected to this person. It's like in this way. But you can't have it both ways. This person does think that you're beautiful on the inside out, and they see your light that radiates from your soul. I think that they just think that you're a nice person, that you're a good person, and that they see that they're not on the same vibration. It's again because that you're a good person. Again, their inner child needs to be healed. Actually, you're both children need to come first. Okay, so there's like a time for healing that you guys both would not do, is what Spirit's saying. You both haven't learned forgiveness. It's a hard one, but it's again, the level of forgiveness has to be again something out, like again, that you would not want to forgive for. We're not talking about the person down the block that you don't care about. Oh, Joe down the block, he like ran over my football when I was 7 years old. I forgive him. No, you don't care about that person. Spirit says you don't care. It's like, yeah, it's one person that you do care about, that did screw you over, that did hurt you, that you just can't move past, because it's the betrayal that will continue to play out within your life until you heal it. That's why Spirit says, because you're holding on to it. So I have to bring you someone that's going to help you learn how to heal it, but it doesn't mean it's a hard lesson, is what Spirit's saying. I've been so grounded all my life, it's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of this connection, yet I can't deny they exist. So you're always going to pull somebody that, again, learned how to handle it through being very grounded, very logical, very analytical, just the facts, and then somebody also handled it, the other person handled it through being in the spiritual realm all the time, where Spirit says neither one is right, like all the time. You have to be like both. You have to integrate both. You have to, be grounded and be methodical and consistent and bring in those energies of the root chakra. But you also have to, bring in the energies of the second chakra too, which is your own identity, emotion, you have to be intuitive. You have to, so it's both energies. It's not one or the other. So again, my life isn't working because I'm only navigating through one element. And Spirit says, yeah, you're both deficient in the opposite energy. So it's, again, that's why I brought this person into your life. It's going to be uncomfortable because it's energy that you're both not good at to begin with. So it's like, it's like, but Spirit says, but I'm bringing it in a good looking package. Like, because again, you wouldn't volunteer to go into this on your own, trust me. And you're like, but that's why there's an element of, I really don't like this. And it's like Spirit says, no, you wouldn't, but you don't really have a control. You have to surrender, surrender brings you spiritual equilibrium, which is balance. Otherwise, you won't be balanced. You'll just be emotional about it. So it's best that you surrender. And you're like, I don't really want to surrender. And Spirit says, I know, but you don't really have a choice. It's again, because again, I'm always going to collect my due. My job is to bring you back to the energy of unconditional love. So I'm going to bring you energies that are not pleasant all the time. And don't listen to other people. Listen to yourself. This is for both of you, Spirit saying, because there'll be a sense of, I don't know, I'm confused. This person is fucked up. It's like they do so many things that trigger me. They do so many, everything, anytime they have the right to fix it, they don't do it. It just looks worse. And it's like, why do I want to deal with that? And Spirit says, you're looking for someone to agree with you, even though you don't really want them to agree with you because you do love this person. It's like, I love this person, but I don't want it to look the way that it looks. And Spirit says, but you're not in charge. And so Spirit says, why is it such a big deal to you the way that it looks? Now, if the person's cheating on you, that's one thing. But if the person just has a little bit of a commitment issue, is not giving you as much time, is it because you're looking for them to give you more time? Now, where can your time be instead of waiting for this person to give you the time? Because that'll be usually the answer. Don't listen to anyone except for yourself, because understand, you'll want to be with this person one day and the next day you won't want to be with them at all. It's again because your emotions, it's the type of connection that it is. I love this person, but I also don't like them. Like, it's the hard. I need you to trust me and believe I am working towards a union with you. So it's almost like they're trying to figure things out. I feel like I don't deserve your love, though, and I'm worried you'll leave me when you really see who I am. And that came out earlier. So again, that's the real issue. This person needs to heal themselves before they can actually be in a good connection with you. Otherwise, you're always going to feel, but they feel like they can because they're like, love like ours can change the world. I mean, I don't know if they really feel like that, but they definitely feel like the love is strong. The love is strong, and being that they don't really feel like you would leave them. So again, it makes them dive deep to do into their own healing, which people don't voluntarily want to do a lot of times. It's scary and they're going to resist it. But we can say, what are they doing in the meantime? And just because, again, everyone's healing process, it may not look that great, like it may not, I like to look at the healing cards just to see. Again, still working through rejection. Again, learning not to be the martyr. I feel like this person tends to avoid. So what their default mechanism would be, I'm not going to deal with this situation because I'm afraid that I'm going to get rejected. But instead, I'm going to give my energy to a place like a parent or somebody that I'm not emotionally connected to. And I'm going to give energy to. So this is when you see people that are nicer to like strangers than they are like their own family. Like that would be this person. And it's because, again, they've gotten hurt. So what they're doing is, if they heal this, again, it's because of the fear of rejection. So during this time, if they work on themselves, they actually will integrate that spiritual lesson, which is a big deal because you don't want to be with a person that shows more emotion to a stranger. And I feel like some of you, that's what you need to forgive, the merciless forgiveness from a parent. You're like, yeah, if it was a complete stranger, they'd do it for, but for me, they never showed up, is what I just heard, where Spirit's saying, yeah, so now you're going to get a person like this that can show emotion to a stranger, but then what about you? And you're supposed to be someone important. And it's like, why? And it's like, no, this is just what I get all the time. And Spirit says, you have to do something different. You're thinking that you don't have any power here. You have power. You're stuck and frozen. You're stuck and pissed off. And Spirit says, do something different. It's again because you're becoming imbalanced. Where this person, like I said, normally goes to a place of imbalance but being a martyr makes them feel better about themselves. It's a way that they avoid. And also, again, this person can go to that again normally with sex. That because it's escapism, right? It's not drugs, it's not alcohol, but it's again, this person wants to feel better about themselves. But what we see again is that they are doing their inner child healing. They're again integrating old habits into new habits. Okay. So that's what they are doing. So we are actually seeing that they are like during this separation point that's what they're doing. And as long as they're integrating the things that they need to heal, you can trust them. However, Spirit says not so fast, because you have to understand, why did you attract this person into your life? Because there's spiritual lessons still on how to deal with this person, because you're not going to be able to just roll out the red carpet and have them come back. You have to train this person. There were certain things that you didn't do that you needed to do. Again, in order to integrate the spiritual lesson. So we have to see, what are they? There's like shuffle a little bit more. Okay. Wonder. That's a good card. And the inner child wounds are not all the time just wounds. Sometimes they're gifts. Wonder really isn't a gift because you haven't wondered anything. Spirit says you don't know who you are 100%. The wonders in you, the wonders in the world have not been experienced. And that would happen if there was lack of support. But usually, again, when we go through experiences, or we don't go through experiences, maybe we didn't have that wedding we wanted to have, or we didn't have whatever that celebration was that we wanted to be celebrated for. It doesn't matter what it was, but the psychological or the emotional trauma is what we're looking at. So what Spirit is saying is like the antidote would be like, again, finding yourself. Again, knowing yourself. Otherwise, there's a sense of not knowing who you are, and you can't be nothing. You can't say, well, I just don't know who that part is. Spirit says that doesn't work that way. It's either, and you can't say, well, that part doesn't really work. It's so Spirit says that would be fragmented. It's like, so not until you went out into the world and really discovered the wonders within you that stir up your soul, that make you think, that make you, and maybe there are certain things that you have, but Spirit says not enough. And the reason why is because this person come into your life, you give them too much. Remember, they have opposite energy of yours, which is to be very controlling, very manipulative. We saw that they're going to be toned down here, but that doesn't mean that their natural energy isn't a little bit too far to the left. It's like, again, too aggressive, too manipulative, so you have to know how you're going to deal with it. It all relies on that second chakra and then the emotional center. You're like, yeah, this person triggers the shit out of me. And Spirit says, well, if you're balanced, it shouldn't be, because again, that's within the second chakra, your individuality. And so no one can make you feel a certain way unless you actually feel that way about yourself. So that person's bringing that out within inside of you, but your mind can't be in two places at one time. Don't give this person that much time. You need to fight this passion with another passion. That doesn't mean person, but Spirit says passion for life. Again, the wonders within you, the wonders within the world, what stirs up your soul, be like, there isn't anything. This is the person. Spirit says, that's what stirs up your soul, that person. Spirit says, you're at a spiritual alignment. It can't be a person. Me first, I'm a jealous God. That's who you first, and it can't be a person. It has to be What is your contribution to humanity? Where do you lose your time, your energy, your focus, and your money? And it can't be this person, because you have to train that person on how you want to be treated. Otherwise, you're going to give too much all the time, rolling out the red carpet for someone that doesn't deserve the red carpet, because you don't really know who you are. Not enough. This person's your passion, and Spirit says they can't be your passion. It's like, and if they are your passion, I'm going to make sure that they abandon you. I'm going to make sure that, because I'm a jealous God, and the universe says I need my due first. It's like, and that's through loving yourself first. Again, so that you're filling your cup up all the way up, so that this person knows exactly how to treat you. This person, again, when you were nice to them, they didn't like you. It took you to be like, hey, cut it out, for them to actually be like, I like this person. I trust this person. And Spirit says, yeah, like, you don't, if you would cower down the way that you learned how to survive in childhood, this person would eat you up, chew you up, and spit you out. It's like, and not care. So by you acting again the way that you need to, this is part of your identity. But Spirit says, but we don't always want to be mean. We just want to not give that much attention, Spirit says. So they can't be the only thing on the menu. Like, that's about passion, right? We need to have other things that fill us up. And it's not about people, it's about, where you want to put your time, and what do you want to learn about, what you want to explore, and what is, again, the wonders of the world, to go and see them, what inspires you. It's, again, it all helps you to create yourself, because you're continually getting ideas, because the creative genius is the God that's inside, that's unconditional love. And we can come to a place of merciless forgiveness when we raise our energy so high, and we are embodying that expression of unconditional love by doing what we love, by connecting to people through the heart and emotionally getting fed. We're able to see things through a very different perception, because we have put ourselves in a different perception, is what Spirit's saying. Spirit's saying, and then that person has absolutely no power, and you're commanding the environment to treat you a certain way, regardless of what the environment wants. The environment very rarely is going to want to do what you want them to do. So you have to command it, and that's through where you're putting your attention. This person's a drama person. And again, so I'm going to come in and I'm going to create havoc in your life. No, you're fucking not. Sit down, sir. Sit down, ma'am. It's like, not today. It's like, that's commanding the environment without yelling, without screaming, without looking like, let's talk about this. There's no talking, is what Spirit's saying. It's all through action. It's all through action, because that's what the person is listening to. And on this fact, it's about your action. Because again, I feel like there was a parent that might have, again, belittled you, made you not feel good. Life was a bit confusing, obviously, if you're not, again, being yourself and allowing your unique unfoldment process to happen. And you had a parent saying, why are you going to do that? Don't do that. It's like, what are you, stupid? What do you gotta, again, then the child doesn't do it. But every child has an unfoldment process. They just have to go out and play. That's what it says, be like child. Because children go out and they play and they invest in themselves. And they invest in themselves by I went out and I rode my bicycle and I met my friend that lives down the block. And on the way there, we found a big box. And in that box, we got an idea that was going to be our tree house. And we went back and but you know what? John made it into a fort because he didn't cut it right. But we made it into a fort. And again, they're going with the flow. They're utilizing what's in the environment. They're utilizing their imagination. Spirit says that's what you're supposed to be doing right now. creating yourself, creating yourself. This person doesn't get all that energy. Look at all that energy you just gave to that person, and they did not earn it at all. They didn't do a damn thing. They didn't do anything. They just got the carpet rolled out for them, and they're not, it's again, they didn't appreciate it because they don't like who they are. But here it is, you showed them, hey, well, I like who the fuck I am. Thank you very much. And the Spirit says, and that's what you needed to do because they like you too. But they couldn't put their finger on what it is. But you commanded that environment. It's again naive. I feel like, again, from beginning, you treated people the way you want to be treated. I think that when we're born into a family that we have a parent that bullies us or makes us feel bad, it shatters that. We're no longer naive. We're in a place where we're more afraid, and so unfortunately we then go into relationships being a little bit naive, looking for where we can find comfort, looking for where we can connect to, and especially if the person feels like home, you know. And Spirit says inner authority, you could trust yourself, learning to trust yourself, even though the environment might tell you something different, which the environment is always going to tell you something different. But the reason why is what Spirit's saying is the second chakra is all about creating yourself. And we know that through the wonders within the world, you can trust yourself. It's about getting strong within yourself. Because again, healing belittled and confusion, which your second chakra imbalances, which is I'm not strong within myself. It's like I don't trust. People see me as naive because if I make them trust, and they do things that make me feel that I trust them, and then what happens is I can't trust them. So there's a sense of feeling naive where Spirit says you can't control the relationship. You can only control you. And so it's again, the energy then is all about we ask, Spirit says taking a leap of faith in a different direction. Okay. And the reason why is because you want to change the energy. It's like it means stop giving energy to this person. It's like when a person is giving you too many mixed energies and you're like, I can feel that there's a connection. And there is a connection. It means, but Spirit's saying, put the energy into yourself because this person is going to do one of two things. They're either going to walk away and meet somebody else, or they're going to walk away and not meet somebody else. But either way, they're going to walk away because they're going to get mad because their ego gets hurt. And remember, Spirit says your job is to make a person surrender their ego. The ego blocks people from love, unconditional love. There is no ownership. There is no expectation. People don't volunteer to change, remember. So it's again, you can't control them. You control you. However, the whole point is what they're going to learn is that they can't control love, even though they want to control love and they don't like this energy because, again, it brings up a lot of shit. Understand, Spirit says, yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're going to learn how to deal with that energy the same way that you will. But the way that you need to deal with it is, again, to take a leap of faith in a new direction to help create yourself more, to experience a new experience, to surround yourself with new energies that are going to reflect who you are today, not the wounds of the past. Again, and have unshakable faith. And so that's really hard, but it starts with trusting yourself and know that your path and that the universe is always supporting you and that you're gaining resilience and perseverance. So those are two really difficult energies because it all requires faith. So you'd be like, I'm not really seeing anything right now, to be honest with you. And Spirit saying, yeah, it's resilience and faith. So again, very hard energies. And that's usually when the devil does come in, Spirit says, meaning the person that the universe says, I want you to always be in the energy of unconditional love. But, the so-called devil also knows your weaknesses. So they're going to bring this person into your life. And, it depends on how you handle it. That's why it's called karmic mate. Because again, past life, you didn't learn it properly. But in this life, you did, because again, you whacked this person across the face and pretty much said, "Not today, Satan." And this person said, "Wow, I'd like this person really trusts themselves. I can trust them." It's like, because they're not coming in and trying to manipulate me, they're not getting pulled into my drama. Again, people know, again, when someone just wants to create trouble and create drama, but you're like, unless you have a conversation with me, I'm not going, like, that's some weird soap opera that's in your head that you're trying to create some weird reality, unnecessary drama. And Spirit says, and it's about knowing that all experiences, good or bad, shape your soul's evolution. Obviously, this person is a part of your evolution to help you. Again, spiritual evolution, psychological and emotional. Doesn't mean that they're not going to trigger the crap out of you. They are. It's a hard relationship. Spirit says, but understand what it is about taking all that, like that energy that's like, they kick up a lot of energy because again, they trigger you. And Spirit says, yeah, now channel all that boundless energy, harness your inner vitality to fuel your journey, again, because it's powered by the divine. It's again, the connection is a divine connection, even though you're like, that it shouldn't really look like this. And Spirit says, yeah, like it serves a purpose. Understand it may not be forever because it's a hard connection, but that doesn't mean that it's not supposed to happen. It is. It's supposed to kick up those old emotions. It's supposed to be fueled with passion. It's supposed to, again, clear you to, so that you'll be a clear conduit for the universe to work through. Again, while you're on your journey, while you are creating yourself, understand it was about gaining this deep wisdom, and it was really about loving yourself. I mean, that's what these two cards are. It's deep wisdom of loving yourself. It's again, and facing your fears. Is Spirit saying, and that it's about acknowledging what you have already overcome. Really, it's again that you've come a long way. Like, give yourself credit. Maybe say, well, nothing's happening. And Spirit says, a lot's happening. Just because you may say, well, I was hoping that a lot would happen in the finance department. I'm not seeing that. And Spirit's saying, well, as when you clear those wounds within the root chakra, finances will be better, but you have to, again, take that leap of faith, because when you take the leap of faith, you surround yourself with new people, new experiences that are going to reflect back who you are today. And you're able to take the wisdom and apply it to your life. It's part of your evolution process. You may say, well, I don't feel like I'm there yet. Spirit says, you've come a long way. It's like, this is where it is now. Again, because this relationship was a very tumultuous relationship, and we can say, are you going to choose to be with this person or not? I think the whole point is that you want to be with this person, but they trigger the hell out of you, and you say, well, how can I be? And Spirit says, well, when they come back, because it shows that they're going to come back, that they actually come back different, but you have to hold to a certain standard, is what Spirit's saying. It's like you have to teach that person how you want to be treated, not through talking, but through, again, how you're treating yourself. It's like, and that's how that person like learns, because you're not codependent. This person knows that they feel safe in the relationship, like they're not going to lose themselves in the relationship, is what it is. Where I just feel like I said, you just don't feel like there's a problem. It's, again, you're not treating it like there's not a problem, like there's no problem. Like, you're acting like, I'm taking this as how like, I'm taking this how every day, like one day at a time. And in the fact that there's no expectation, the relationship actually balances out. It doesn't mean that it's, like I said, an easy connection. It was a connection to help you to heal, to learn, so that you could, like I said, become a clear conduit. But you can't become a clear conduit until you clear your karmic programs. And the thing is, you wouldn't know what programs weren't clear if this person didn't come into your life. It's again, they represent the trigger, they represent the mirror, is what Spirit's saying. It's like you didn't learn how to deal with that energy, so you never forgave. And as long as you don't forgive, you're just going to be blocked and you're going to create more problems for yourself because it becomes a root chakra imbalance where you're holding on to resentment. And because anger over time is that resentment, and that creates colon cancer, it creates problems in the root again, where you can't let go. And so, what the root chakra is all major systems of the physical body that you're going to see imbalances in. You're going to see imbalances in the nervous system. You're going to see imbalances within the skeleton system. You're going to see it within the endocrinian system. So again, when we see people that have cancer and when we see people that have digestion issues and that they're always up in their head and they're angry and they're triggered all the time, well, that's again because they haven't let go. And they keep creating the same experiences. Spirit says you have to let go. It's like you have to heal. So that's why I brought this person. But it's a hard as shit relationship because you're like, well, it's a hard relationship because you haven't healed it. And the root chakra also represents, well, listen, we inherited this. It's like Aunt Marianne back in 1923. Well, she was also angry with her sister. And, mom was angry with her sister, and now you're angry with your sister. It's again different karmic patterns is my point, is that you wind up seeing through the bloodline. That Spirit's saying it's like 700 generations to be exact. 700 generations of ancestral karma is what you inherit. That's what it says in the Bible. So you might be number 699. That's being called to break the karmic cycles. And you wouldn't know how to do that. And the karmic cycle is due to not forgiving. Where Spirit said, need to learn how to let go. It's again, because it's creating problems within the roots. And that's again, you're not your anger. You're not your resentment. You're not the past of the trauma. So again, you wouldn't volunteer to heal this. And we leave off where Spirit says, serenity. It's again through love, release, and inner work. I know peace. Have a gentle view of life and welcome every step with confidence. I remain brave in the face of fear and have the wisdom to let the universe do its work. So what Spirit's saying is, when you forgive and let go, you find peace, serenity. Again, and only in the now do you get divine guidance, and that's through gut, intuition, and knowing, and that happens when we're at peace. Spirit's saying you have to be a clear conduit for Spirit to work through. And so again, to guide you, you can't be holding on to resentment. Again, anger. You have to let it go, and you can let it go by seeing the situation through a different perception. And then dealing with it differently. And Spirit says, this was about you, again, learning to channel the energy, the boundless energy towards your purpose. It's again, because that energy is going to come up. They're going to trigger you. And so it's again, it has to happen because that's, it triggers you. You learn how to work through it and to see it differently. And to see yourself differently, Spirit's saying. And so there's a lot of energy there. It has to be channeled properly. And if, you can't hold on to it because we know that creates sickness. And within the root chakra, on all those levels that we just said, endocrinian system, it's not good, because the endocrinian system is right near. Everywhere where there's a chakra, there's an endocrinian gland. So again, breast cancer, again, closed heart chakra, anger, holding on to it, prostate cancer, colon cancer, like all of it. That is what Spirit's saying. It's like it starts from holding on to that energy from a very young age, meaning it's always been like this. And Spirit says it hasn't always been like that. That's the way that your family decided to do it. But, look at Marianne. Look how she died of cancer. Look at this person. Look at that person. You don't want that fate. It's like I brought you everything to help you to, again, clear it. And again, channel it into purpose, because this person can also bring a lot of passion. They can also balance your energy, but it's all dependent on how you deal with it. And that means you're the one that has to be emotionally strong enough to, again, not care when this person acts like a child. And that's not going to be the easiest thing to do unless you have the support. I'm going to leave that there for you guys. And does anyone have any questions? I am living in Western Australia. It's the most beautiful morning here. You're also beautiful. Thank you. And very much thankful. Thank you. Thank you. And then, hey there, nice to see you in person. Well, thank you, Heidi. And thank you, V Dub. Thank you, V Dub. The Fox. And John T, thank you so much for being on and sharing your energy with me. I appreciate you guys. Yes, there's a storm outside. I was outside right before I came in. That's why my hair looks like crazy. But like I said, it seems to have calmed down a little bit now. And so I hope that you guys are safe and enjoying your, I don't know where, if it's Saturday or Sunday. I know if you're in Australia that it's Monday, only because I had a client that was from Australia. And again, we used to book our sessions every time on Sunday, which was their Monday morning. And every, again, so I hope that everyone's having a good morning or night. But I'm going to run. I'll be on again later or tomorrow. You could be sure. Oh, and don't forget to tune in. I'm going to be on a new platform called Social Goats. I will have my podcast, extra live streams, educational classes, like really at a discounted thing. It's like you're not paying. You're actually coming in and you would pay for the entire platform that has hundreds of other content creators, entrepreneurs, not just within spirituality, but in hundreds of other things, even gamers. So if you're like a gamer and you have the opportunity to make money. So if you're someone that wants to learn spirituality, wants to make money, then definitely fill out the link, Social Goats, in my description box. It'll bring you to the platform. I will also be on YouTube, but it's a way that I can afford to do my classes, like again, pre-classes that was on Patreon for a big group of people more often. It's like I couldn't do it on Patreon because you guys would come on at all different times of the day. So it's $7.99 a month, and you guys would come on at all different times. So it got out of hand. It was like the class would be like 5 hours, like 6 hours twice a week, and I just couldn't afford to do it. So again, this platform is going to allow me to do all of it and underneath one thing, and you will be connected to a lot of other influencers and have the potential to make money. So again, if it's something that interests you, definitely fill out the link. Again, Social Goats, and you will see me on that platform and on this platform. But I'm going to have extended things and more educational stuff on that platform. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.